cryptocurrency. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And Mr. Elron, can you move TikTok over just a little bit? Because I'm like really off center over there. But guys, today we got a massive show for you guys. We're going to be talking about, has the price of Bitcoin bottomed? I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of evidence to suggest that it has. And then you're probably going to watch me get wrecked live on TV, which I know a lot of you guys love. We're going to be taking a look at the markets. Obviously, a lot of interesting things going on. But we've got a lot of really big stories going on here in the United States. You guys know, last week we teased that there's some kind of giant news coming this week. I don't know if we necessarily have that today, but we definitely have some price action that has been exciting. We're going to be talking about some major companies getting into NFTs. And we're going to be looking at, is this the Bitcoin Super Cycle? A lot of people have suggested that it could potentially be, and I'm going to show you guys why that could be the case. All right, guys. So first and foremost, everybody, thank you for subscribing to the channel. 687K, killing it absolutely right now. Appreciate all you guys. And also, guys, I do want to give a shout out to my dude CryptoFace. You guys know the designer of Market Cipher, the indicator that we use. You can find it at bitboycrypto.com/deals. He had 100K today, so congrats to CryptoFace. He was going to come on the channel, but we had some technical difficulties, and we were just in a little bit of a time crunch. He wanted to talk about some of the stuff we're going to be talking about with the markets and with the trades, looking at Market Cipher, and it has definitely called a bottom. Oh, somebody says, TJ in the chat. Do you see TJ up there? TJ in the chat says, BitBoy got no love for one. Yow. Okay, you're obviously not from the South. Y'all has two L's, first and foremost. Second of all, I don't know. I don't know if I got love for it or not. Maybe you want to tune in. So maybe a show today. Maybe an episode today. Maybe we talk about it a little bit. So I don't know. I'm just saying, before y'all come with the accusations, maybe you want to chill. That's all I'm going to say.
That sounds like a TJ thing for sure.
It does sound like a TJ thing. That's true. Guys, also, I got some big news here. If you guys make sure you're following me on Twitter, BitBoy_crypto. We've got 209.1K. And also, guys, make sure you guys are being careful. I've got hundreds or even maybe thousands of impersonators out there. Guys, I'll never ask you for money on any platform ever. I don't have any like crazy investment platforms I'm a part of. So just know that. But yesterday on Twitter, right before, well, look at this. CryptoFace made this. I am now the green dot for Market Cipher. It is me. So we do have that. But guys, I made some tweets about Tesla last night. A lot of people are upset that I don't like electric cars. And I just want to say, I don't like electric cars. No offense. They're great for the environment, but I need a big engine. But what I did say is I showed this yesterday, this tweet here, put the deposit down on a Lambo. A lot of people thought that this was actually a Hot Wheels car. No, we did put the deposit down yesterday on the Huracan STO. Unfortunately, it does take a full year for them to build this and send it to you. So we did put the deposit on the Lambo yesterday. It's a big, exciting news for the channel. And this is it right here. Most exclusive Huracan they've ever made. And I'm super thrilled to be getting this. It's going to be really exciting. But let me tell you guys what's going to happen is it's going to get delivered in the bear market and you're all going to hate me. So remember, I'm going to tell you when to get out. But very exciting news. So we can actually use augmented reality. You can put my Lambo now in your garage. So just scan that QR code. So I thought that was pretty cool. Excited about that. Let's jump into the markets. Here we go. Somebody said, what is your short and long-term view on Phantom? I'm very bullish on Phantom right now. We have it for our 1K to 10K challenge. It is our whole portfolio right now over there. I'm expecting a $3 Phantom at some point in the pretty near future. They just had a huge transaction spike today. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with Phantom. Pay attention to it. Okay, so right now the price of Bitcoin coming in, $55,263. It just changed. Down 3% from yesterday. Market cap holding steady at $1 trillion. So I always mess up saying trillion because it sounds so crazy, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Then you got Ethereum, which had a huge dip yesterday, all the way down back into the 1600s, breaking the support of 1730 it had for a long time. Then we got Binance Coin, Cardano, Polkadot, the usuals up there. Take a look at the top gainers of the day. Dent. Wow, up 300% this week. Unbelievable. Up another 44%. And then look right there behind it, Theta. I need to check my Theta bags. Do you guys want some portfolio videos where we show you our portfolios? Let us know. We're thinking about doing some of that this week. May do a few of those. So anyways, we got Theta Fuel, which is kind of the gas of the decentralized streaming network for Theta, and then Theta both up massively. Generally, I've told you guys my viewpoint on this when you have gas tokens or fuel tokens or, a utility token along with another token. I usually just go with the major one. But I have said in short spurts, sometimes you can see the gas token get a bigger advantage. You see it right there. Theta up. These numbers are very interesting. Today, Theta up 17%. Theta Fuel doubled it, up 34%. But look at the week. For the week, Theta's up 67%, and then Theta Fuel is up 34%. So showing that really there could be a relationship between Theta pumping first and then the gas token after that. And then Joseph DeRose says, do you want to read that comment, TJ? I can't really see it from here.
It says, "Grats, Ben, on getting TJ to bend the knee to the Lambo."
Yeah, that's right. Bend that knee, TJ. Bend it, TJ.
Yeah. I mean, we always said it was not a matter of if, a matter of when.
He still wins, though, guys. TJ still wins. Now, this is what I want to know. Here's the question, guys. So, basically, no, you come back up on the screen. You don't hide from me on this, okay? Here's the situation we're looking at, okay? Now, we are buying a new building, so that's real crazy. Yeah. But the situation is, I suggested to TJ what we do is, I've got to wait a year for this one. I just go ahead and buy a regular Huracan Evo in the meantime, and then when the STO comes, I trade it in. I'd probably lose like 10%, whatever. I trade it in and get the new one. So that way we have a Lambo in the meantime. TJ, you're definitely a fan of that plan, correct?
I am not a fan of that plan.
So you're okay with me waiting a whole year to get a Lambo after the whole bull market's over?
Yes, I am. I think that's great. I think that's good discipline. And do you really want that awesome Lambo to be your second Lambo? Like not even your first time buying. The first time you buy a Lambo, it's used. That doesn't sound like you.
God, you got me there. I do have a new Jeep Wrangler coming. That'll be the Jeep Wrangler. God, what is it called? I can't remember. Is the really souped up one, the 8-cylinder. The 392, the Wrangler 392 coming. So that's kind of cool in May.
Isn't it pretty funny that I feel like everybody that works here knows so much about cars and really loves cars.
Well, we had a guy that said he wants to come be our personal car maintenance guy.
Yeah.
To work. He says he thinks we have enough here to keep him busy.
So when I was getting the GTR, one of the sales guys came up to me. He's like, "Oh, do you know much about these cars?" And I'm like, "No, not really. I just want one."
Yeah, welcome to crypto, am I right? Everybody in crypto is getting new cars.
Yeah.
It's fun times.
Seriously, everybody on Twitter, I feel like, got a new car in the last week.
Yeah, I think somebody got a RAV4, so congrats on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, back to this, guys. Let's look at the markets. Overall market cap, $1.7 trillion, 24-hour volume up, which once again, I'm telling you guys, it's really interesting to watch our Bybit referral numbers, to watch the volume that's being traded, because I'm really seeing there's a very distinct relationship between the amount of people for our channel who are trading and then for the actual overall volume. I mean, it's not nearly close to this, obviously, but when this is up, all of our traders are up. When the volume is down over the weekend, our traders weren't trading as much. And that's just a very interesting thing to think about how, everybody, you feel like you're making your own independent decisions on what you're doing with your trading, but really you're collectively doing something similar to what we see the market doing in general. Look at this, guys. Bitcoin dominance staying under 59.8%. ETH dropping from over 12 all the way down to 11.4%. I don't know what we're going to, see with that, but some very interesting stuff. Benny B says, "Can I be your car consultant?" Well, I don't think I'm going to need one for a year, so I'm pretty depressed about that. So I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to start our foundation with the Lambo money I was going to get in the short term. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Sounds like a better idea.
You got to get... I see all these people in the comments all the time. They're like, "You're buying a Lamborghini, but you can feed the children." Guys, what do you think? Guys, you think we don't do stuff like that? Is that what you think? We're actually taking a big part in a golf tournament here soon in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
In May, if you guys want to come play golf with us at a golf tournament. What's the organization?
Atlanta Angels. It's they help foster children. So we did.
And who is against? Who's against fostering children? Who's against that? Atlanta Angels. They help foster children. So we're gonna go do part with their do their golf tournament in May. So you guys want to sign up for that? We'll have some more details on that too, so you can come do that. We're going to be major sponsor of this golf tournament. So pretty exciting stuff.
Come hang out. Golf.
Yeah, come hang out. I did want to touch real quick on some altcoins. We have a big altcoin video coming out tonight at 6. Top altcoins, top cheap altcoins. So these are all altcoins that are under 15 cents. Most of them are under a penny. Just taking a look at that. But I did want to bring up this project, A2DAO. This is a project that we got invested in that we is doing a lot of big stuff. It's a long-term, they're long-term investors helping open-minded and smart people move the crypto industry forward, which is something we all love. You can find their pitch deck on their website. It's a2dao.com. And check out this portfolio. They have an accelerator, but look at the portfolio. Look at all these projects that are in it. So many projects that we're invested in that we like. Plot X is definitely one. Alliance Block, ALBT has absolutely crushed it this year. Mantra DAO, another one of our top picks. It just went on Binance. Dia, ZenView is another project we talked about. Bondly, Terra Virtua, The Graph, another project that we love. Prosper, another project that we're invested in that we like. Marlin, a lot of big knees. And, I thought this said Power Knee. It reminded me of when you bent the knee to the Lambo. This is Power Key. Casper, another one a lot of people are very interested in. So you guys want to check out A2DAO, you guys can head on over to their website. It's definitely, if you look at their portfolio, it's definitely pretty huge and something that we are a part of right now. So I didn't want to shout them out for that. Okay, let's move on over here to the Bitcoin chart. That's what you guys are here for. Everybody wants to know. There's so much interesting stuff going on right now with the Bitcoin price. And we talked today at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll have Chris from Crypto on, where we'll talk a lot about what's happening. Basically, there was a rising wedge that had been going on for 3 months with Bitcoin, and supposedly yesterday Bitcoin broke down out of that. Well, when you zoom out, right? When you zoom out, a lot of people showing that StormX, by the way. And I was looking, it's in the top 200 now. It just went up like 150%. I know nothing about it, but I just saw it on CoinMarketCap. I saw somebody showing it. I don't like when people show stuff, but it is something I did see today. So pretty interesting. Okay, so anyways, when we look at the weekly chart, it's very obvious to see we ain't broken nothing. We have not broken anything. When you look at the touch points for the weekly chart, wick right there, body right here, bodied right here, right on the line, and then we wick right off the same exact line. On the weekly chart, there's nothing in my mind that looks bearish right now. All that it is we're at the bottom of a channel. And when you're at the bottom of a channel, right, that's where a lot of the biggest opportunities lie. I mean, if you were to, dang it, didn't mean to do that. Let me see if I can add that back there. Yeah. So when you look here, I mean, the best opportunities are at the bottom of these channels, as you guys can see. And we just touched off of it. So let's look at some of the shorter time frames and see what we're looking at. Let's go to the day chart here. The daily chart, it's the exact same thing. I mean, look at this. There was a rising wedge. When you look at these touch points, this one actually needs to move down like just a little bit here. It's weird when you look at the time frames how the lines are just slightly different, but they're still, I mean, look, it's such an obvious, clear channel at this point. So when you look at the 4-hour time frame, check, this is where we get into some exciting stuff. Now, of course, as always, if you guys want to trade on Bybit, you guys can head on over to bitboycrypto.com. Look at that. What a guy. You can click deals, and then you go down here and go to Bybit. We also have our new Exablock deal here where you can get 10% off with the code BitBoy and get our daily newsletter report that we always look at. But you guys can sign up for Bybit. You can also sign up for Market Cipher, the indicator of choice. You guys can do that. I'm telling you guys, of course, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If anything I've ever said during a video makes you think that I am a finance guy with a degree in finance, then you've not been paying attention. But what I would say on this is right now is a good time, and we're going to look at the chart here. In my opinion, it's not without risk, but it's a good time to be getting in at the bottom of this channel on a good long position, which I'm in. When you look at the 4-hour chart, check this out, guys. Boom. Big green dot at the bottom of Market Cipher. And like I said earlier, CryptoFace wanted to come on and talk about this today. Unfortunately, we just couldn't make it happen. But CryptoFace is saying bottomed. We have bottomed. And so if you look back at the 4-hour chart and you go back to the last times that we had green dots, I mean, look at that one right there. From there, we had let's see what this run up would have been. In the very short term, in 1 day, it rose 23%. No, that's not right. In 2 days, it rose 23%. And then in 13 days, it rose 43%. If you were to look at where that puts Bitcoin at, that would put Bitcoin, if it rose 43% over the next 13 days, that would put Bitcoin, here it is, so interesting, guys. Let's do the measurements here. When you look at the chart here, from this green dot from the bottom of that green dot, if you go up 43%, that puts Bitcoin at $77,000.
That'd be nice.
Pretty interesting. But I would also say at the same time, I would say watch this channel right here. Watch the top of that. If you look at the channel, it looks like it could be going up to about 70K, which would be a natural kind of area to bump its head because we bumped our head at every $10,000 mark. So in my opinion, I think we're bouncing up off this. I don't see anything worrying, but I want to show you guys this because this is something to really pay attention to. Saw the 4-hour chart, right? Saw the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the 6-hour chart. Look what we got on the 6-hour chart. Green dot on the 6-hour. And you know, if you watch this channel, that we have been very adamant that, you know, with a lot of these higher time frames above the 4-hour, these green dots on Market Cypher are absolute money. So if we go back to the last time we had one on the 6-hour chart, that would have been all the way back on January 22nd.
Wow.
Now, I would point out, okay, on this chart, just to be clear, you would see that there was not necessarily a double bottom, but it did dip down. So from right here, okay, is where we got our green dot. It did come down lower, actually, and test the bottom of this channel again. So it went from 31,000 all the way back down to 29,000 before it went back up again. But obviously, look at the gains from there. If you would have got in on that dot and stayed in with like decently low leverage here. Stop calling me. And you were to ride that all the way back up to $62,000. If you were to rode that up, I mean, that's 104% gain since the last one. So Anthony Lorenzo says Hive is going to take over social media. Bzzz. Sorry, I can't buzz when I'm wearing a dog shirt.
But thanks for that super chat.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat. And what was that other? What was the yellow one?
Just shills.
Oh, it's just shills. Y'all, it's feeling chilly out here. But anyways, the point here is, now look, guys, you don't want to ride, you don't want to try to ride one of these longs like up, you know, forever. I don't like to do that. To me, there's more gains in riding up the long and then getting in the dip, selling at the top, getting in the bottom, and doing it over and over again. You'll make more money that way. But a good kind of like laissez-faire, like take your hands off way of trading that is to get in with low leverage. And when you got this green dot and, you know, things are pretty good after that. So we've got a green dot on the 6-hour. We've got it on the 4-hour. We have it on the 3-hour. We have a double green dot on the 2-hour. On the 1-hour. 2 double green dots in the last 24 hours. And you can just keep going down and you can see, like, look right here, like on this one, on the 30-minute chart or 45-minute chart, for instance, you have the green dot here, and then you've got, this is like a trigger wave right here. So that right there is some bullish divergence. So there's a lot of evidence to suggest that this thing is about to zoom up. So what does that say?
He's saying you messed up with the Lambo.
Why? Real Italian muscle has a V12. What would you call a Lambo? Is it not Italian muscle?
That's what he's. Is it a V12?
I don't know.
That's what he's. I think that's what he's. It's probably not.
Let's see here. Well, this is as close to an actual race car. It's a V10.
V10.
It's a V10, and it's barely street legal. It's barely street legal. So, see if it's got the horsepower in here. 640 CV, real race car. My gosh,
oh man,
so
all the Hive people. Jeffrey Conlow, Hive Army has entered the building. Take the red pill. Join the revolution. I mean, we are.
Why do you love Hive? Why are you like?
Because they're sending $100 super chats.
Oh well, sure, we appreciate it.
Yeah. So.
Hive is the like alternative to Steam, basically. It's right. Fork of Steam.
We like decentralized social media.
Yeah, we love decentralized social media.
But there's no way to know which one's gonna win.
But look, that one's gonna win right there. Look how slick that car looks. It's like the greatest car known to man, I think. I mean, look at that thing. What would you rather have, a Tesla? Here's my question to y'all Tesla folks. If you took a Tesla and you put a Kia logo on it, would you still think it looked great? I'm just saying. Look, you can't argue Teslas are fast. I mean, it's kind of like a roller coaster car, right? It's an electric car. It's not a real engine. But, you know, it is what it is. No offense to you guys that like that stuff. I understand it. It's just not my cup of tea. Okay, all right, so let's look at what happened with my trades. And this is always the riskiest thing that we do. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart here first. I want to show you guys the 2-hour chart.
Do we need to be on Heikinashi candles?
You know what? I actually talked to CryptoFace about that over the weekend. He said it does not matter.
So it'll work on both.
It works on both the same. Basically, what he would, and I, like in the setup of it, it says, to do the Heikinashi candles. And so that's what I've always done. But he said actually there's no difference. He says really when you're using the Heikinashi, all it does is it shows the trends better. Yeah. Because basically it's not relying upon like red candle, green candle, red candle. It kind of strings them together and shows you trends.
Thanks for that super chat, Larry Fletcher.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat. But right there, we had been on a downtrend, as you guys can see right here, and then now we're back on an uptrend here. Now, I got absolutely wrecked last night. I think it was the 3-hour chart. Which chart was it? 2-hour chart. Got a green dot. That doesn't sound right, though. 6 a.m. What chart did I get the alert on? Maybe it was the hour chart. Yeah, I think it was right here, maybe. And then it bottomed right there. Yeah, I think it was the hourly chart. I had set an alert to get, this green dot here. And what happened last night is I got absolutely wrecked. Why? Because I'm chasing the bottom of this thing. I mean, I'm very bullish. I think we're going way up. I was chasing the bottom. I had an alert triggered so that when Market Cipher green dotted up the hourly chart, I would go ahead and be able to jump in. So I did, and I jumped in at like right here on this candle, I think. I think it was 55.1. So I jumped in like right here, and then we see what happened. Had the downward action right there. And I got wrecked. So it all happened overnight. I got the order filled, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and it had dropped down, and I had set, I think, 25% stop loss, and so I lost 25% on that trade. I got absolutely wrecked. I lost like 0.42 biddies in our $100,000 million challenge. And, I was talking to Chris from MM Crypto today. You guys see that video too. And he made a really good point to me. He said, the thing is you're only going to win probably like 60% of your trades. We were on a streak where we won 90% for like 6 weeks. But, if you win 60% of your trades, overall, you're going to make a lot of money if you win 60% of your trades. You can actually win 30% of your trades or less. And if you have your stop losses right and you have some big wins, you can still be way profitable. So we did get wrecked on that trade last night trying to catch the bottom. But I do think that now we did catch the bottom, and I was just willing to risk it. So I didn't want it to bottom overnight and not have a position. The mistake that I made was I probably should have set my stop loss a lot higher. I should have set it at like 5% instead of 25% because we are doing lower leverage. But I did up the leverage on my trades. I'm going to show you guys a trade I got going on right now. Right now I entered at $54,700. And I actually had the leverage at 7x. So we've been trying to be a little safer for the challenge. But I changed my mind on that. So basically what happened is CryptoFace came on this morning, and he was talking about 54,900 was the bottom. I was already in this position at 54,739, so I felt pretty good about it. Or actually, no, my position was maybe a little bit higher than that. But what happened is the price came back down, and it kind of like double bottomed right here. What chart is this? This is the hour chart. Yeah, so it came in and bottomed at 54.8, and I climbed back in at like 54.7. And so it actually lowered my position. I said, I'm going to go ahead and raise my leverage. So what I did is I raised my leverage to 16x. And then when you raise your leverage on Bybit, just so you guys understand, when you raise your leverage, it will take like half of your position out, or whatever the equivalent is of what you raised it, right? So I doubled the leverage. So it took out half my position. And then I just took that position, the half that it gave me back, and I went in more. So I'm trying not to use super high, crazy leverage, but I'm also not a dummy when you see a really good opportunity. And everything on the chart says that we've bottomed. Everything on the chart says that. We looked at Market Cipher, every green dot. So for me, raising the leverage made a lot of sense. And I think that we're going to see this thing climb back up to the top of this channel, and I'm going to be able to ride it all the way up. So any chance you get, like, have you ever been in a position and the price goes back down, but you're very confident. You're like, man, I wish I had some more money to put in this. Well, raising your leverage is a good way to do that. Now, of course, be careful if you don't understand leverage or you don't know how to use it. Be very careful using anything above about 3 to 5x, especially. But 7x to me is pretty conservative. But when it double bottomed, I looked at it as a time to be able to get back in. So, if you guys, take advantage of the bottom of this channel, trade it on the way up. It's not guaranteed, but you guys know what? Here's what you know. Here's what you know. If you get wrecked, I'm going to get wrecked with you. So we're in this together, okay? You don't, I'm not somebody that comes on this channel and I put these trades up and I make these trades and then like on the back end, I'm like, oh, but it's okay. Like, I'll just move all my money out. Like, no, you guys see what happens. We get wrecked sometimes, we lose. We win way more than we lose. But you got to know we're in this together. So when we're making decisions based on market cipher, we're with you guys doing it. So, at least you have that. We'll have each other to comfort each other's tears. Or, who knows, maybe we can pick out each other's Lambos. So, okay, so let's move. Somebody says, what? What about VeChain? Many people are holding VeChain. I don't know. Maybe it's on a video later. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about VeChain today, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to spoil that whole video by the end of this. So our position's looking pretty good right now. We're up in profit. Now, you guys remember we're always playing 3D chess over here with people trying to counter trade us. So always be careful when you're trying to mimic any of our positions, even though I tell you not to do that. I know some people do. Just be careful with it because you got to understand we're like big targets around here. And so, there's a lot going on. But we're very confident that the move that's about to come is going to be massive and that, you can't counter trade. You can't counter trade, like, for instance, like CryptoFace said over the weekend, China waking up. You can't counter trade that. 5-minute chart, you may be able to make some moves. So in terms of the bottom of the market, so the Bitcoin actually being at the bottom, we never really know. You never know where the bottom is until you look back, obviously. We can look at 2017 and know where all the bottoms were and know where all the drops were. But during 2017, you couldn't do that. We do know with the Nupal, we are on a decline with the Nupal, so it's moving down. So there's nothing to be, super worried about there. We know with the stock to flow deflection, once again, look at this, we are on the down. And then when it comes to some other stuff to look at, some news around our digital asset report, which once again, guys, you guys can get by going to bitboycrypto.com/deals. We got Bybit, Market Cipher, Token Metrics, Exablock, a bunch of exchanges and stuff like that. Somebody said, check the similarities on the 4-hour chart patterns between February 21st through 28th and March 13th. Thank you for that, Heath Ryans, for the super chat. Yeah, I have already been looking at that. So that was something I had actually noticed when you look back between, let's see, you said February, so basically this move right here. So from the 21st to the 28th, somewhere around that move. And then when you look at what we're doing right now, it's definitely doing something similar. So that is something I've already noticed. That's why I think we are going to get this bounce up. But if you look at the bounce that occurred on it, it wasn't straight up. It wasn't straight up. There was definitely a move and then a drop and then another move. So pretty exciting. All right, so let's check out Bitcoin bottom, as I was saying. Look at our digital asset market report. Here's something to check out. Obviously, we had the market caps drop, okay? But look at the daily transaction volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shooting straight up. Look at that. Pretty interesting. One of the biggest moves we've had since the beginning of March when bullish stuff was happening. You had something you want to say? You interpret that data there, TJ?
I just thought it was interesting. I'm just curious to see if we continue to watch it ramp up as this week goes on, and we get closer to that March 26th date. We've been talking about how low the volume's been this week. I'd be really interested to see if it gets back up in this 15 billion range as the week goes on.
So very interesting. So we know, right, that, and this is something, I need to put a reminder down for me to do a video on these futures. I want to do a video on these futures this week.
Okay.
So the long and the short of it is, the long and the short of it in leverage trading, we call it longing and shorting. Stock market, they basically equate that to calls and puts. And the interesting thing is when these futures expire is that while on the 26th, we have this huge expiration for Bitcoin and Ethereum futures, okay? Hashtag ETHGang. Look at that comment. I'm no more holiday predictions. Okay. Easter's the Lord's Day. She'll be the Lord of ETH's Day. So when you look here at all these expirations, so what Exablock told us, they give me like a little analysis every day of these reports, and they said the interesting thing that's happening right now is a lot of these, even though they expire on March 26th, people can actually close them early and roll them into the next go round. Mm-hmm. And they're actually seeing that. And the two biggest price points that they're seeing is 80K at the top and 48K at the bottom. And what's the support? We've been telling you guys that is absolutely massive. It's 47K. So you got it at 80, you got it at 48K, and then a lot of people are saying target's like $82,000 to $85,000. So it makes sense on the front end. That's baked in a little bit as well. Somebody said, Nathan Mead said, "Hey Ben, I had a bit of a scare yesterday with a hack. We'll love a video covering the safeguards that need to be put in place to avoid cyber threats." We've done a lot of those videos. We've done a lot of videos on that. You know, check out a lot of my earlier videos. You definitely want to watch my SIM card swapping video I made about 2 years ago. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, maybe we'll do a scam video next week. But it's just so common. Like, it's just so frustrating because we'll make a video, it'll be interesting, and then the next day people will be like, "You should make a video on scams." Like, go watch one we just made. We just made it. And
just so people know, if you're not familiar on YouTube, you can search this channel specifically.
Yes. So let me show them how to do that real quick.
Yeah.
So right here, if you're on BitBoy Crypto, which is a great place to be from what I've heard, be on BitBoy Crypto. And if you just click here for this magnifying glass, well, that's that's okay. We don't mind. You could have seen our revenue there for the last month. There's about 140K, I think, for the last month on YouTube ads. But what I wanted to show you guys was, why? Oh, because it's live right now. If you come back over here and you click this magnifying glass and you can search the channel, so if you put like hacks here, there you go. Find out when I was hacked. You find out a simple way to make gains. Well, that's a crypto trading hack. This was talking about a Binance hack. Look at those thumbnails. Look at that. Look at that guy. Wow.
What a long way.
How to stop crypto hackers. That was another one. So a lot of these, the one specifically I was talking about though, if I go to SIM card swap, this is a video you guys all should watch. There it is. If you search SIM, the biggest crypto threat to your crypto, I think this is a part 1 and a part 2 here. So you want to watch these 2 videos and it'll show you how to do it. There you go. Okay. All right. So let's get back onto this. This stream's going to be really long today because I haven't even got into the story yet.
Yep.
Weekly reminder, Phantom is ultra fast with low transaction fees. We love Phantom. So, okay. So Bitcoin's lower lows worry traders, but is the Bitcoin bull market really in danger? So have we bottomed here? Bitcoin bounced off the $53,000 support, but another leg down should not be ruled out in the short term, the near term. Bitcoin's price is, and guys, this is traditionally what we see. When all of the news stories start jumping on, the price is going to fall, that's generally when it starts to go up. And by the way, guys, if you like these videos, if you love our live streams, make sure to go ahead and smash the likes. And here's why. Let me tell you why. The only way that we can make money on this channel to pay people like TJ is to smash the like. So if you want TJ to get paid, smash the like button. And guys, the Hive Army that's in here, if you're in the Hive Army, let us know by smashing the like button as well. Guys, we want TJ to eat. TJ just moved into one of the new houses we bought.
Yeah.
Is that correct? We're going to give you the address.
That is correct.
But how is that?
Well, no power, no water currently. So it's been an interesting start, but it's actually really nice and right across the street. It's going to be a lot of fun. Justin's going to stay with us.
Yeah.
Ken's moving in. So
we've got a lot of people coming in. Samuel Sayer says ATL meetup soon. We need to solve that today.
Yes.
Today.
Okay.
We need to go down. We want to have it at Andretti's in Marietta. So Andretti's, what the heck? You never called us back. I'm going to have to send somebody in person down there today. Because you're right. With this ATL meetup is way overdue. We're going to do it ASAP.
Thanks, guys. Everybody said they did it for TJ. Look at that.
They did it for TJ.
What a good group of people.
Y'all are awesome, man. You're so
nice.
good. TJ, he like really struggles with like confidence, feeling good about himself. So I mean, you can imagine being around me all the time. So I'm just kidding, guys. I like TJ. I don't love him. I like him though.
Oh, you know you love me.
I do. If you guys watched our Hit Network video, you found out I literally begged him to come work here. So It is true. I give him a hard time, but he really is a huge part of his business. We would not be where we're at without TJ. That's for sure.
Katrin said, tell Ben to shave.
Oh, I didn't want to trim the neck beard today, so we got a trimmer here now. So there's no excuses.
Okay.
Yeah, we got way off track there. But they love their TJ time.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's price has seen massive gains in recent months, accelerating from 11,000 to nearly 62,000. However, such impressive rallies also include relatively calm periods of price action. These periods are consolidative and are needed for the market to find a new floor. In bull markets, bullish continuation is likely after these periods of ranging before another leg up can happen. TJ's paycheck money.
Thanks, Joseph.
The $53,000 level has to hold to avoid more downside. Well, if we go here and look at the chart, if we go and look at the, let's check out the daily chart here. What's the comment that you're looking at now?
Somebody was saying maybe if I had invested in XRP, I wouldn't need it.
Let me tell you one thing.
Boy, are they wrong.
Yeah. TJ hates XRP. Okay, let's look into this here, because according to this article that held 53,000, we were still going to remain bullish. And so what happened? That's 52.90. Can't get it exactly there. Okay, let's see what happened. Look at that. It did, if you look, it peaked below it. Now, of course, this is just on Bybit here. But you guys can see, like, it just barely peaked below that line. But that 53,000 held, guys. That 53,000 held. You guys can see it. It's a little hard to see because of the screen there. But right there, boom, it held. So still bullish. Looks like the bottom is in. A lot of evidence to point to that. And, you know, I think that is definitely something that if it were to break below that, I would believe 49 or 47,000 could be in play. What was that? So was that a no for 2,500 ETH on Easter? I'm almost willing to make that declaration, like just because I love Easter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Guys, Easter.
Good job,
That's right. Get to church on Easter, boys. Maybe if y'all go to church on Easter, you know, ETH will rise after 3 days. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back from the dead. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about, there's your Bible preaching for the day. Okay, so Bitcoin price eyes more explosion as Biden considers new $3 trillion status. The long and the short of it is this. When this guy is not falling upstairs, he's trying to figure out a way to print money.
Yeah, this is definitely going to happen.
Did y'all see him fall up the stairs 3 times?
I did see that.
He fell up the stairs 1 time for every $1 trillion he wants to print. Bitcoin investors keen to profit from Joe Biden's presidency. And by the way, I found this story. Let me find this story here. Vice Sam Fried. Let's see. Vice Sam Bankman. Isn't it Bankman Fried? What's his name? Here it is. Okay, so check this out, guys. I thought this story was pretty interesting. Okay. Because look, I mean, if people watch this channel, they know it. We're in Georgia here. We're in little north of Atlanta. A lot of people probably know where we slant. You know, we slant a certain way. People know that when you watch the channel, I'm sure, if you know me, okay? But, you know, there's been a lot of people I know that have been very thrilled with the current administration who are in crypto. If you're in crypto and you're in Bitcoin, this current administration is a godsend. Like, that's what has been very, very obvious. So while, you know, there may be some social issues or some economy issues or some, you know, global issues you're concerned about, maybe some immigration issues, maybe you're, you know, interested in all that. But for cryptocurrency, there's been no doubt that so far this year, things have gone, you know, pretty well regardless. And I said they would regardless of who won. But the point is, the second largest amount to Joe Biden's campaign was given by Sam Bankman-Fried. He is the CEO of FTX. Now, is there a picture of him? He's got a nice afro. Let me check him out here. Let's see. Where is he here? There he is. Look at old Sammy boy. There he is. Now, here's a question. Does Sam Bankman-Fried really align with Joe Biden liberal values? Or did he donate money to get him in there so they could just print? I think it's a legitimate question. I don't know. I'm just saying they are printing like there's no tomorrow at this point. And they will continue to be doing it. And so I thought that was really interesting that I saw that. The story just came out yesterday that Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX was the number 2 donator to Joe Biden's presidency. Right? Want to destroy the stock market, I guess. That's another thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just his political, you know, values or whatever. But Bitcoin investors keen to profit from Joe Biden's presidency have received another bullish update, $3 trillion government spending package. They just printed $1.9 trillion. $1.9 trillion, just printed it. Now they want $3 trillion more. We've seen the money supply.
And they'll probably do another one after this.
No, what's the number? Do you know the number we talked about that it was for this year? For the whole year they were saying?
Was it 7?
9.
9. I wanted to say 9. Yeah.
So if we get this one, That's 3 plus 1.9. That's $4.9 trillion.
Halfway there.
Somebody said hashtag woke. Joe Biden and Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to leave that alone. We try not to get political on the channel at all. But obviously, there's a lot of overlap between what's going on in the world. So, according to 2 sources in the White House, Mr. Biden is considering a plan from his top advisors to boost infrastructure, clean energy, childcare, and education with another stimulus. The additional fiscal support, which follows the U.S. president's $1.9 trillion pandemic package, would address structural insufficiencies affecting the U.S. economy. So what would happen? Another Bitcoin boom on the cards. The cash injections, coupled with the ongoing money supply from the Federal Reserve, expect to increase inflation, lifting appeal for hedging assets like Bitcoin. The Fed maintains benchmark lending rates near zero and wants to keep them intact until 2024. Bitcoin does well in an ultra-low rate environment because it pressures the lower dollar. So therefore, if the dollar falls, U.S. stocks bought and sold in the currency would be worth lesser to foreign investors. This is the dollar index. Corporations with massive cash piles would also face declines in the value of their balance sheets. Bitcoin could emerge as an insurance asset for entities looking to offset the dollar devaluation risks. And look at this. Wow. This is the total public debt as percent of gross domestic product. I mean, everything's going parabolic. It had a little dip there. But guys, I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Can we just keep printing money forever? Is this a thing? There's some people who are making that argument that we can just print it forever. But we know that doesn't work, right?
Yeah, those people haven't lived through a society where that happens.
Yeah. So, TJ, here's a question. I want you to share your Walmart story.
Oh.
Tell us what happened when you went to Walmart the other day.
Yeah, so the other day, speaking of the new house, we're trying to get some TVs and the kind of basic stuff you would need to get set up in a new house. So I went to Walmart to get a TV for downstairs, a TV for the room, and I forgot that the stimulus checks had pretty much just hit that week. I think this was Friday night that I was at Walmart.
Yeah.
And they were cleaned out of big screen TVs. There was probably 3 people there with their cart pushing it around that had a TV in it. And I was talking to the guy like, hey, do you have anything else in the back? And he said, no, we don't have anything in the back. Like literally the last 70-inch, the last 65-inch. So everybody went out and spent their stimulus money on great investments like big screen TVs.
Did we really need a stimulus across the board for everybody in America? I'm just saying. Is a TV a necessary purchase? Absolutely not. Now, look, you can make the argument that 10 years ago, having a TV, especially if you had kids, like very, very, very important. There's a big part of what you do. Maybe making a little upgrade be okay. But we all have phones, and we all have smart TVs, and they're very cheap. And it's just like, everybody doesn't need stimulus. I didn't get one, of course, not everybody has to be in a financial bracket where they don't necessarily afford it or don't need it necessarily. A lot of people never stopped working. Over half of people in America never stopped working. 50%, the number's 50%, by the way. 50% of jobs in America were considered to be essential services. So it's just one of these things where they're just trying to appease the people by giving you a bribe. And, I just never get the girl on TikTok who made the video that's like, where's my stimulus check? I want my crab legs. And I was just like, and that was fun. It was a funny video. She wasn't being serious, I don't think, but it's just like, that is kind of the idea of like, we get a lot of money at one time, we go spend it. It's not going to really stimulate the economy. We know that. We know we're just destroying our money long term. It's fun to be able to go pick out a TV, but at the same time, it wasn't necessary. So why do they just keep printing more and more and more money? It's because they don't have a choice. Like that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. Why did you get a stimulus? Because they have no choice but to just keep printing money at this point. When they stop printing money, the Ponzi scheme crumbles. And that's when we'll really see the price of Bitcoin. I'll go up. I want to know from you guys, like, what do you guys think is going to happen in terms of, we haven't seen really a pump from the latest Bitcoin stimulus. Like, why? Why is that? I want you guys to drop the comments down below and let us know what you think about that. I have my ideas and my theories, but I want to know what you guys think. So, all right, let's move on here. Bitcoin Super Cycle. You guys know that I've talked a lot about a Bitcoin cycle where we are going to see, a bear market. And I'm a strong believer in that. Now, I have said that we may see a lower volatility on the bear market. Maybe it's down 65% instead of 85%. Somebody says, Problem is, these people buying TVs aren't educated enough to know they really need a retirement account. That's Moises Camacho. Yeah, I think that's it. And that's what they're preying on. They're preying on the people that are the least financial literate in the world. Those are the people, or in the United States, those are the people that are the most concerned with getting the money to spend it on something that they don't necessarily need. And that's, sometimes, not always, but that's sometimes maybe why they're at, where they're at in their life, is because they don't understand the idea of saving money or doing things for long term. And the government feeds that by just giving them more money. But, at some point, like I said, Ponzi scheme is going to be up. Okay, so according to recent analytics data, Bitcoin keepers are holding onto their Bitcoin really tightly despite 7% correction in the price. The point is, when I was talking about this Bitcoin cycle, is that the only way we're going to get less of a bear market than normal, the only way we're ever going to get a Bitcoin super cycle is for the institutions, the big money coming in, not to sell their Bitcoin. We're starting to get some data aligning with that. According to recent data from Sentiment Analytics Company, investors at the moment are ignoring the 7% Bitcoin correction, accumulating Bitcoin to move it off of exchanges. Moving onto exchanges is bearish, moving off exchanges is bullish. Bitcoin has plunged from $58,000 to $53,765 on Monday, and by now has made a slight recovery to $55,222 on Kraken. Stimulus equals World Economic Forum in Davos equals Great Reset. Crypto is the only path for liberty. And that, you know what? That's a beautiful way to say that, because the thing is, I've told you guys for a long time, crypto may not save us. Blockchain, it may not save us, but it's our only chance. It's our only chance. It's our only chance to keep from our financial overlords from taking over everything we have.
And we did a whole series on the Great Reset. So
once again, if you want to see that,
right, just go search.
Just come over here to Bitcoin Crypto, go to the little magnifying glass over here, and type in Great Reset, and you guys will see our series that we did on it. There it is. Part 1, Part 2, Part 4, Part 3. Part 4 is really crazy, but there it is. So you guys can see all the info on that if you want. It's a really good series. And, when we were on the Alex Jones show, we only talked crypto. We didn't talk politics on there. Okay. But when we were on the Alex Jones show, it's very funny. Like, he said that was the series that he watched on our channel that got the idea to him to have us on. So, a very good series is what I'm trying to tell you. Even though it didn't have as many views as a lot of our other videos, we do have some depth on the channel. We don't always show it, but we have it. Okay, so along the same lines here, we have Bitcoin whales accumulating BTC as its price consolidates. Just a lot of stories about the same thing, including a chart from Crypto Burb, which, by the way, I don't think Crypto Burb is the random drunk guy that I was talking about one time. I said, I can't remember what he was involved in, that we're, I think maybe with Hyper, their partners. It was a different podcast where it was a bunch of drunk English guys, I think. I've actually met this guy in real life, briefly. I mean, he may not remember, but he seemed like a nice guy. So I want to clear that up randomly. But anyways, Bitcoin's 7-day average over daily active addresses in sideways while price action climbs. The upside trend is the strongest when backed by on-chain trends. Big thanks to Sentiment for amazing data. And we've looked at this before about how the on-chain analytics from these different projects actually, in many cases, is a strong indicator of where the price is going. When you look at this chart, it's very easy to see how they're tied to one another. Hi Roland says, Gemini users, they just added BNT 1 inch. LRC, I guess that's library credits, I think. Sand, or Sandbox. SKL, which is Scale Network. GRT, it's the graph. And Engine, they added that for Gemini. So
just
that's
went
cool.
live. And I confirmed that.
Yeah, and BNT is Bancor Network.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
they added a lot.
I know my tickers. I know my tickers. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the long and the short of it is this. If we're going to see this Bitcoin super cycle, the most important thing is that the big money and the big institutions are holding on to their Bitcoin, that they're not selling. And I've heard that there's a big rumor going around out there that Elon Musk is selling his Bitcoin. And it's not true. If that were true, he would have to publicly say that, especially with the Tesla buy.
What did you say for LRC?
I think it's Library.
It's Loop Ring.
Oh, it's Loop Ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know my tickers. Wow, I'm an idiot.
Well, you know most of them.
What? I guess Library is LBR. What is Library, actually? Let me pull that up and look. I really feel like I need to look at that now because... okay, so
LBA.
What is it?
LBA.
LBC. It's LBC. Library credits right here.
Oh, library credits.
Yeah, library credits. LBC. I should have known that. Snoop, big in the LBC. But anyways, there's a guy on Twitter. and guys, this is what you're seeing. Guys, I don't really want to call this guy out, but I'm going to. And I want you guys to understand, I don't mean any harm in this that I'm about to say, but this guy, Alex Becker, he's another YouTuber. Hey, Alex, you want to come on the show and talk? Come on the show and talk, no problem. I think he's got about 500,000 people on YouTube, I think. I used to look at his numbers and be like, wow, he's got a lot of subscribers. But this guy, like, putting a lot of stuff out there about what's going on in crypto, and we got a lot. Supposedly, somebody put it in a comment. I don't know this is for sure. Somebody can verify this. That basically he's pushing this narrative that Elon Musk is selling his Bitcoin based on nothing, I guess, because obviously he's not. But this is what I want to tell you guys, okay? There are a lot of people on YouTube that are financial YouTubers. You got Graham Stephan, which we like Graham, obviously. You have Andre Geek, which we like Andre. He seems like a very nice guy. You got Alex Becker. You got a lot of these guys, Sheldon Evans, a lot of these guys that were financial gurus / financial coaches, life coaches, whatever you want to say. They're all different, okay? But the thing is that each one of these guys, they haven't been in crypto for 10 years, okay? These are guys that are newer to what's going on in the world of cryptocurrency, in the world of Bitcoin. They have value. A lot of these guys have value. Okay, I'm not saying they don't. Certainly watch their channels. A lot of these guys have big, explosive, growing channels because they're talking crypto. But this is what I'd say. The people that know the most in the space about cryptocurrency, they don't necessarily have to have been around for 10 years. But we've all been here through the entire bear market. And just be careful where you're getting your information at. Double check it with sources. When you got people like Carl, Crypto Zombie, MM Crypto, obviously Lark, there's tons of people out here in this space that have been around forever. Data Dash, I love watching his videos. He has some good videos on crypto. Just remember the source when you're looking at this information. I'm not saying that these guys are wrong. I'm not saying that things they talk about are incorrect. They do their research. They do know how to do it. But you would think that if you're going to get your crypto information, that you should be getting it primarily from a crypto-centric channel, right? Doesn't that make the most sense? People that have been in here for way longer. I didn't just get into crypto last year, okay? Remember that, guys. So, look, I like a lot of those guys. I'm not trying to say anything bad about them, but don't take the things they say in crypto as the gospel truth. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Double check your sources. So, okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about replacing gold. So this is an interesting story here. Bitcoin is much closer to gold than to dollar, says Jerome Powell. The chairman of the United States Federal Reserve noted that stablecoins are an improvement over cryptocurrency. While Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, this is a pretty funny article, I thought.
This is funny.
And we'll look at Liam Frost. Is that not a kind of an odd face he's making over there? Look at old Liam. It's a big head over there. Now, he doesn't have a big head. I'm just saying it's a big picture. That's all I'm saying. Liam Frost wrote this. I don't know Liam. While Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are not backed by anything, they are still capable of serving as a substitute for gold, Jerome Powell said, as the chairman of the Fed. Crypto assets are highly volatile. See Bitcoin, and therefore not really useful as a store of value. They're not backed by anything. They're more of an asset for speculation. What's the US dollar backed by?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see that video we did over the weekend? I hope you guys liked it. We're going to do more with Ellie Goncalves from Instagram. She's an Instagram model, works with L'Oreal. And if you watch that video, we got more stuff coming from that. We talked a lot about the financial system on Saturday on our video. And this website is so cool. What the happened in 1971? And when you come back here and look, there's so much stuff. Like when you look at the cost of living compared to now, what you think a new house is more valuable today? Like, is what about the house? Is like the wood a lot better? Like to make the average house now $400,000 instead of $25,000? No, it's because they took it off the gold standard. Look at inflation. When we went off the gold standard completely in 1971, you guys can see what happened. I mean, we're at 2,300% inflation in 50 years. That's literally 50 years. So the point is, it's so funny that he would say that Bitcoin's not backed by anything. It's actually backed by much more sound economics than the dollar, which is the only thing back in the dollar, which is economics. There's nothing behind a dollar bill. Literally, if you guys don't know, fiat currency literally means a representation of money that's not backed by anything.
Right.
That's like literally the definition.
I think in Latin or something, fiat literally means like backed by force.
Oh, God.
Which is pretty much what it is. Use this or else.
Yeah, that's it. It's backed by the government telling you got to use it. Wow,
Right.
That sounds, very patriotic. However, he also pointed out that instead of competing with fiat, Bitcoin is currently moving into the territory of gold. It's not challenging the dollar, there, sir. It's essentially, doesn't he look, you know what he kind of looks like? He looks like that guy from from Harry Potter, like the little like elf people at the bank. I don't know what they're called, but they got the glasses on their eyes. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? That's what this guy kind of reminds me of. My wife is all into Harry Potter, so thank God the two people that my wife would leave me for are not real people, or one's dead. So she loves C.S. Lewis. She'd probably leave me for him. He's been dead for 100 years, thank God. And Harry Potter. So
those are the two.
Those are two. They're both British.
Wow. Maybe that's why you have an issue with British
Honey?
people.
God, now I'm pissed.
Mr. Bean strikes again.
Mr. Bean! God, don't let her find out Mr. Bean. Oh, God. She'd be in love with him, apparently. Okay, it's all jokes, honey, all jokes. It's essentially a substitute for gold rather than for the dollar. Goes on to say, speaking out about CBDCs. Now, if you don't know what a CBDC is, it's a central bank digital currency. Powell explained that the Fed potentially could develop one in the future, but it would require strict regulation, a lot of research, and a careful review, just like any other stablecoin. Stablecoins may have a role to play with appropriate regulation, but that role will not be to form the basis of a new global monetary system. Global currency governed by the incentives of a private company is something that will deserve and will receive the highest level of regulatory expectations. So when you come and look at this, there's also a story out today about BitBoy and Crypto Kid. Wow, they love TJ as Crypto Kid. Boston Fed and MIT to release digital dollar prototypes as soon as July. So let's think about this. What's the narrative that they're trying to tell us right here? Bitcoin good, replace gold. Great. Bitcoin not replace fiat currency. Meanwhile, in the background, Fed working with MIT to create digital dollar, which they've already said will be connected to actual cash. They're not going to totally get rid of cash, probably phase it out at some point, but they didn't say that. Researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology will unveil prototype central bank digital currency systems as early as July. So let me tell you what I can kind of see happening here. We've already looked at the stimulus. We've already looked at their wanting to print an additional stimulus package, okay, of $3 trillion, bringing $4.9 trillion for the year. We do know that the number of those floated around for the year that they're looking at is about $9 trillion. I think on average they were printing about $2 trillion already. So it's already, it's way above what they normally print, but we're only about 3 or 4 years ahead of where we'd be anyways. So kind of what I see is this. They get the next stimulus package that has nothing to do with checks to you. Like, you're not going to get a check from this $3 trillion. They said it's going to be education help, other kinds of resources and things like that. In July, we get this digital dollar. And sometime in the fall, it's ready to use. And that's what they'll send out, the final digital or the final stimulus that gets to you. Now, 2022, y'all ain't getting any more money. Y'all are going to be in big trouble. That's what I think. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the digital dollar is coming soon? You can drop those comments down below. All right, let's look at this story here. So Taco Bell to Charmin. 10 big brands jumping on the NFT bandwagon. And I'm going to say it again, okay? A lot of people are saying these are top signals. Top signals, basically what we mean by that is that when everybody gets into crypto, that's a good sign you're at the top. Well, NFTs are a little bit different. This is the door to mainstream. And I've said this a lot of times. I'll say it again. To me, we are going to see a bubble in the price of collectibles, kind of like you see bubbles in, whether it's signed football helmets or baseball cards or Pokemon cards. They always end up self-correcting. But the difference is, cryptocurrency, they're backed by actual blockchains, and those blockchains are going to continue to develop and do well, even if the individual price of the art and the collectibles goes down. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So brands have seized on NFTs as a way to engage with their audiences and promote their products. Nike, Panini, and Vodafone are some interesting ones. In recent days, brands have leapt aboard the multi-million-dollar NFT bandwagon, with companies ranging from Taco Bell to Charmin minting their own non-fungible tokens. Is there a joke there with
yes.
Taco Bell and Charmin?
Yes.
Because isn't it like when you eat Taco Bell that
you need Charmin?
Yeah. Okay, so Cryptomancer says, Alex Becker said Tesla would sell at the peak. trying to persuade noobs from holding at the top into the bottom of the market. Said sell top, buy bottom, stonks theory. So that must be exactly, because I went and I looked on his Twitter page and I didn't see it, but I had a lot of people telling me, so that's why I brought it up. Which, look, if that's the message he's giving you, which is buy the bottom and sell the top, that's a good message. But to say that Tesla's going to sell at the peak, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
You cannot look at institutional investors and corporate investors that have billions of dollars in Bitcoin the same way that you look at you or me, okay? We need to sell tops because that's how we increase our wealth. But these guys already have all the money. They're doing it kind of like they're doing it for tax purposes. They're doing it to hedge against the economy. They're not doing it to make short-term gains in a micro cycle in the bull market. So that's the difference. That's why they don't have to sell. PayPal, they just keep buying. They don't ever sell. They just keep buying.
Michael Saylor said he has no plans to sell ever.
No plans to sell ever. That's what he said. He says Bitcoin is the apex predator in finance. I like it. It's true. Look, we give the maxis a hard time, but we love Bitcoin. We do love Bitcoin. And somebody said, what about Pokemon? What about Pokemon? Yeah, that's an interesting one. We think it's going to do really well. We're trying to get invested in that one, but I don't know if we are or not. I'm trying to figure it out. We like that one, though. So it's not out yet. So I'm going to go on PokeStarter. For some brands, it's the trend of 2021 so far, and they've seized on the promotional opportunity presented by NFTs. Pizza Hut now has a pixelated pixelated pizza. This reminds me of when Brecky made a QR code with pepperoni. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was great.
We love Brecky. He's a maxi, but we love him. We also love Gary Leland. We like both those maxis. I think it's the only two I like. But I'm gonna sneeze. You guys saw me dab on air there. What about that? You guys remember when that dab was cool? It's a lot of years ago. So they've got, for 0.0001 ETH, you can get a pixelated pizza. Reminds me of those pizzas you would get on Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, to give you energy. Pringles has this can that you can't eat, Crypto Crisp. Which, by the way, I want to say this. Have you guys seen the Blockbuster documentary on Netflix? It is really good. I really love it's called The Last Blockbuster. It just came out. Did you guys notice...
Talk about ironic.
Yeah, I know, right? Did you guys notice when they're walking around the store looking at movies that you clearly see DVD cases for the movie Crypto? It's pretty good. No, it's not a good movie. It makes Crypto look really bad, but I thought it was pretty funny. Crypto made it into that documentary. So if you guys saw that little Easter egg, then, that's pretty cool. Taco Bell's delectable collectible. So we do know they had their spicy potato soft tacos, which also some people said that they got rid of the spicy potatoes at Taco Bell. But they made this NFT, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's a cool NFT. I hope they can't hear that. But pretty cool NFT, I thought. I mean, it looks kind of on the line with things we see today. MGA Entertainment gets bratty with dolls, so you can get the brats. These we don't let our daughter play with these things. Those are dangerous. I'm not big on those. That's what I must say. Ubisoft and Disappearing Rabbit. So Ubisoft is in on it. That's a video game, I believe. Charmin's non-fungible toilet paper. Procter & Gamble laboratory paper brand Charmin raises a few eyebrows when it released a series of NFTP art pieces dubbed non-fungible toilet paper this week. Bids for the Charmin NFTs were as high as $264.
What the heck?
You have to be kidding me. But at least it goes to a good charity. I don't know what the charity is. I hope it's a good charity, but it goes to a charity. So that's what I'll say. I don't know anything about it. Gotta be careful before we say it's good and good thing. I have no idea what it is. Nike raids Crypto Kitties to patent Crypto Kicks. We'd already seen this. Vodafone does London Vatum Vapor. Is that vaping? No, it's not. I was about to say a vaping NFT would be really weird. Panini, which is a sports car brand, premieres NFTs for the leagues, and then Formula One races to NFTs. Also a pretty interesting documentary, I think, on Formula One on Netflix right now. So pretty great.
It's interesting to me to see a lot of these are big international brands. Yeah. And as economies are kind of like our economy, we're definitely moving more towards a global economy. So it'll be really interesting for me to see these brands use NFTs to bridge the gap country to country. Like branding is going to get a lot more important across languages. Like you look at a can of, and I always use Pringles for example. Yeah. I can look at a can of sour cream and onion Pringles, and it doesn't matter what.
Yeah, it's gross no matter what.
I love sour cream and onion Pringles.
Sour cream's good.
But it doesn't matter what language the can's in or the bag's in or anything. Just because of the branding and the imagery, I know exactly what it is. That's going to get a lot more important over these next 10 years.
Well, they had that commercial of the Super Bowl, which was the Doritos regular and ranch bag. It was like the whole Super Bowl commercial, or was it Super Bowl?
I think.
But I wasn't watching Super Bowl commercials. I don't know how I saw it.
Well,
maybe I saw it on YouTube ahead of time because I was at the game. So
they run them afterwards.
But it was basically the idea of it was a blue bag and a red bag. I saw it on TikTok, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, just seeing the red and blue bag, you knew what it was. No question about it. And that branding is very important. Like when you see BitBoy's head, you know that's me. But guys, so let's move on. Let's look at the Ethereum and Cardano charts right now. See what we can kind of see here. We know this is on the weekly chart for Ethereum. We know that this line had held very, very, very strong at 1730. Now, this is the weekly chart. So even though it did wick down below our support line here, we could certainly see it close above it. I think we will. Somebody says, what platforms sell Ecomi? Ecomi is very hard to buy. It's only on, I think, Bilaxy and... No, not Bilaxy. It's on BitMax, I think. I can't remember. If you guys know the video, I showed you guys how to do this. You just go to CoinMarketCap and then type in what you're looking for. Ecomi, pull it up. And you guys can see,
markets.
Come down here, click markets, and there it is. It's on Bit4X and Ascend EX, which is BitMax. Oh, did they rebrand just now? I think they just rebranded. Very interesting. But they are having a launch on Uniswap. It got delayed, though. So we'll be out soon. We love Ecomi. Thoughts on the heights Earn can reach for the project gets rolling? I mean, I think it can get in the top 25 pretty easy. So you guys can do the math on that. Okay, so back to the charts here. Looking here, we did have some very solid support at 1730. What's your opinion? I don't know. I don't eat a lot of chocolates. I don't know. Okay, so I think we will close above the 1730 number, but let's look at what Market Decipher is saying on kind of the daily chart here. It looks like on the daily chart is not really showing a lot of strong action. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. We did get a green dot on the 4-hour chart for Ethereum. Right now, price is coming in 1716, so it is below that number right now. Now, here's our nightmare scenario. Nightmare scenario is, right here, this line ends up acting like resistance, and it has a hard time getting back above it. That's going to be very, very ugly for ETH if that happens. I don't think we're going to see that by any stretch of the imagination, though. The last time we got a green dot, let's look at our last green dots on the 4-hour chart for Ethereum. So you come back down here, you look, you got the double bottom here, and then you've got this. This would have been the end of February. So really, the last time we got those green dots, it wasn't really super bullish for Ethereum. You guys can see, even on the second one, it did have an increase here. The price did go up on the green dot on Market Cipher. It went up 20%, so not too bad. But then it bottomed again and bottomed back down here. Now, if you had bought here, for instance, on the bottom of this candle, and you rode it up to the top, 1952, you got a 48% gain. But, I mean, what you guys are seeing is this. I mean, when you look at the E chart, it's not that sexy right now. I mean, when you look at the 4-hour chart here specifically, it could definitely be argued that, this is a downtrend here. I mean, we had all-time high, and then we had a lower high. So definitely could make that argument. Looks like we're kind of trapped in sideways action here. Kind of, it is interesting looking at this from that perspective. Because right now, what that would suggest, if we got this green dot here, and we're able to reestablish up here in this channel, this kind of sideways channel, if it just went to the top of this channel from here, I mean, it would be 11% gain, put it back at 1900. So that could happen in the short term pretty quick. But what we'd really want to see is we would really want to see Ethereum come here, bounce up to the top of this channel, and then break out of it. I mean, that's obviously what we want to see. So I don't know. Maybe if y'all start praying for Easter, you just start praying for Easter, then maybe we might get some good Ethereum action. Hashtag ETHGang. But right now, I mean, the chart doesn't look that great other than getting that green dot. So it really is a pivotal point. When you look at the chart here, it's really pivotal to see what it's going to do right here on this support of 1730. So that's what's going on with Ethereum. Let's check out Cardano real quick. Cardano, obviously, and guys, this is what you get. This is what you get in the world of cryptocurrency. What is that smiley face? What was that I was drawing? Who knows? But when you look at the Cardano chart, I mean, obviously we had a double top here. We were hoping to get above this. Now, just so you know what a double top is, obviously when you have a price point that, you know, it hits twice and then bounces down from, that's what a double top is. Usually it's a pretty bearish pattern. But as you guys know, in the altcoin world, it's a lot driven by Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up $70,000, $80,000, we will certainly see, you know, some positive price action for a lot of these altcoins. Sorry, somebody's calling me again. Don't know who that is. Sorry. Get out of my face. Get out of my face, or you're calling me during my live stream. So, you know, what we're looking for Cardano, we wanted this to get above this level and go above $2. We thought we'd see that with a Coinbase listing, but we didn't. We told you guys that ahead of time, though. Sometimes, you know, actually, generally, the rumor is buy the rumor, sell the news. That's the strategy. Buy the rumor, sell the news. So if you bought Cardano on the Coinbase listing, on the rumor of it, and you sold when it listed, you did okay. But that's not what we want for long term. What we want long term for Cardano is a much more massive move to the upside. The Coinbase listing, while it didn't send Cardano to the moon like we were certainly hoping that it would, this gives a lot more liquidity. So when the action is bullish, now Cardano has a lot easier way, or a lot easier time going up, because more people can buy it. So that is really bullish news. So when we look back at Cardano, you look back here at the last couple of green dots there, and you guys can see that, you know, the one before back in early March, you know, it didn't really do that much, went up about 15%. But the most recent one, obviously based on the news of the Coinbase listing, went up 41%. So, you know, Cardano is definitely something that I think has got more room to the upside. It's in a lull right now. This is kind of my strategy with Cardano right now. Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding. Like, we haven't sold any of our Cardano. We won't sell any of our Cardano. My viewpoint on it right now, if you're looking to kind of trade Cardano, is I expected to go sideways for a little bit. Like, it just kind of like, you know, busted the proverbial nut, if you will. It went way up, double topped, and it just at an all-time high at $1.50. It challenged that again. And now we're probably going to see a little bit of boring action for Cardano in the short term. So, but long term, if you look back in the history of Cardano, the boring action is where the money is made. Always remember that. The sideways action is the accumulation zone where you can really go to a different place in life. So, okay, here we go. So last thing, changing times. Guys, the viewpoint on crypto is changing across the board. Microsoft conducts poll, wants to know if you use Bitcoin. Which of these other payment methods would you like to use on Xbox? That was the question. Microsoft's goal is to determine whether users would be comfortable paying for the Xbox gaming platform's online store services with Bitcoin. The software company included BTC as a payment option for Windows apps and Xbox games in 2014. Microsoft, though, will not buy Bitcoin. That's what the headline says here. But I want to go back to this, really, because this is what I want to talk about here. Basically, for us to be able to get to a place where we can spend crypto and we can spend Bitcoin, we need positive, sentiment, positive reactions to questions like this. And I'll tell you this, TJ, what happened when we tried to send our money for the building?
They rejected the wire.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. It is so hard to spend your own money these days. Yeah. It's very frustrating. We have a lot of money in crypto, and places just don't want to let us spend it. They want to flag everything as, it's from Coinbase, so it's, fraudulent. Like, what? The bank system is holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
Times are changing. They killed the fractional reserve system last year, which means the banks don't even need to have any of your own money. And I can tell you this, I feel much more comfortable with my money in crypto than I do with my money in the bank. Because at some point, that Ponzi scheme is going to bust. The newer generation is going to want to use Bitcoin. They're going to want to pay for things with cryptocurrency because it's fast, it's instant. What in the world, if you want to transfer money, it takes you 3 days? 3 days?
Closed on the weekends?
It's 2021!
Yeah.
Please, for the
joke.
love of God. Like, why in the world would you possibly want to use that archaic system? Well, we're starting to see times changing. We're starting to see a more positive sentiment go towards cryptocurrency. So here we got this report from bncrypto.com. Time-seeking CFO comfortable with Bitcoin. Right here, American New Periodical. New Periodical? Why didn't I just call it a magazine? What is this, the third grade in your school library? It says they're looking for a CFO who's open to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, according to a job listing on LinkedIn. The media industry is undergoing a rapid revolution. Now, guys, I want you to think about the media industry, right? What is it? Fake news, right? Well, what is fake news? Clickbait. It's sensationalized headlines. Now, look, I ain't going to get on too hard about the clickbait, okay? But the point is media is all driven by narratives. We know that. They're driven by clicks. What is popular is not the archaic banking system. And what Time Magazine is saying with seeking a CFO that is cryptocurrency friendly is that we want to have a shift in our narrative around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And the argument can certainly be made that the media in this country, I would say less now than in previous generations due to the fact that we have social media now, which obviously is also censored and controlled. But, in the past, media made the entire narrative of what's happening in the world for the perception of people in the United States. That 6 o'clock news you got back in the 50s, it was telling you what was happening and you were believing it. So now we're seeing that Time Magazine, in shaping that narrative, now wants to be bullish on cryptocurrency. And they're putting their money where their mouth is. Or their CFO, one of their highest positions, they want to be Bitcoin and cryptocurrency friendly. Why? Because they're seeing that the old narrative, that Bitcoin bad, dollar good, is not popular with people. People don't want to read that. They don't want to see that. People are opening their eyes. I've told you guys this many times. Every person I care about in my life is invested in cryptocurrency. Every family member that I have, for my immediate family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, the whole deal, they're all in cryptocurrency. I gotta pat myself on the back for that one. Now, I Trojan horsed a lot of them. I sent them crypto in many cases to get them in, but then they got interested. But, a lot of people, they may not have had as much success and luck as I have with my family getting them invested in cryptocurrency. And the reason is they're all interested at this point is not because they think they're going to be millionaires. Now, certainly, hopefully some of them will be, but they're interested in cryptocurrency because they see the stimulus. They see the money printing. They see that the old system is dead. The old system is not going to work anymore. They've stopped publishing the M1 and M2 money supply, right? They know what's coming. Times are changing for crypto, and you got to get in or you got to get out. And if you know people that are resistant to this message of cryptocurrency, they're going to be sorry for it. But just remember, it's only your job to present them the facts and the opportunity. They have to decide to choose it. And if they don't be mad at them. They're just being sheeple, and that's okay. But the fact is that in the future, Bitcoin is going to be and cryptocurrency is going to be our primary way of conducting business. And I, for one, cannot wait. Because if I used to talk about how much I hated banks, it was just purely out of it was a popular thing to say. Everybody hates the banks. Let me tell you, I cannot stand these people now. They make my life a living hell trying to spend money. It is nearly impossible for us to move money anywhere without everybody in the world pointing, spotlights on us and being like, "Oh, you have cryptocurrency? What is this? Tesla bought cryptocurrency. Tesla bought Bitcoin." Okay? Like, why is it still a taboo thing? And I cannot wait until it's not taboo. It's not something that has a negative connotation. And Time Magazine, for one, is seeing this. Microsoft is getting ahead of it and seeing it. Tesla getting ahead of it and seeing it. The question is, do you want to be left behind? You're watching this channel, so I know you're not. All right, guys, drop your comments down below. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.